y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 323, the Thanksgiving episode.
Thank you.
Gobble, gobble, baby. Gobble, gobble. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Ed Placencia. Oh, Tim,
yeah. Ed wins. He's the leader.
McCracken and Tim Router. Of course, and as always, it's because I'm looking at this stupid hangout window. Talk about it.
First in line. Ed's the line leader. Hashtag line leader.
Of course, and as always, we're talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. If this is your first time listening, you're like, what's the problem? All he did was say their names. The thing is, I say it in a specific order every day, every week. Not this week. We flipping it up, baby. It's Thanksgiving.
That's right. Come on.
I'm drunk off turkey. Chris McCracken.
Yeah.
You are at home, just headed back from a little trip.
Yes.
How was your week?
Week was good. Weekend was good as well. Pretty light over here. We did a little bit of shopping and things this week, preparing for the upcoming Thanksgiving week. But outside of that, there wasn't a ton going on this weekend. And in fact, I haven't been able to jump into Red Dead since last week. But this weekend, I was like, okay, I'm going to have a good little chunk of game time. And that's what I was planning to do. And what I ended up doing instead was just going through and finishing out the platinum on AC Odyssey.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was just like, I feel like these last few tasks that I had to do are not going to take that much time. They ended up taking more than I thought, as tends to be the case. But it's still overall, I was like, well, I definitely still want to jump in and get this and knock it out. And so I did that. And then this week, yeah, so we found out, I think is either Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure exactly when Stacy got the word, but we found out from her mom that they were having a surprise birthday party for her dad. And her dad's actual birthday was yesterday, and they wanted to have this surprise party on his birthday. So we're like, okay, so that's a Tuesday. We're just going to try and make this work. So I just went up and talked to my boss, like, hey, I'm going to leave like a few hours early, if that's cool. And then she was like, yeah, that's fine. And then, so we drove up to Oklahoma last night, got there just in time for the surprise party, stayed there for about 2 hours, and then we drove home last night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Surprise.
Because Stacy's she's off today. They gave her the day off, obviously because she had been traveling a lot recently. And she's going to be doing some different prep stuff for Thanksgiving. And then actually on Friday, her parents and her brother and our two little nieces, they're going to be coming down here to our house and have like an after Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so she's going to be prepping and meal prepping stuff for that. And she was like, it'd be awesome if we could just be home on Wednesday, because then I could just wake up and I could get rolling on all this stuff and not have to worry about a 3-hour drive in the middle of the day. And I was like, I totally get it. I was like, well, let's just make this happen and let's drive home the same night rather than stay there and get up in the morning and drive back. Plus, I knew that we were recording this morning. I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. It would be easy. It's always the easiest to record at home because everything's just set and prepped and ready to go here. Anytime I go on the road, it's always a little bit of jankiness going around. But I took all my stuff up there with me just in case it came down to where like we were going to need to stay there. But it all worked out fine, and we just headed out and then got home around 12:30, 12:45, something like that. So it wasn't too ridiculously late when we got home. But this was actually the very first time that we have charged the car to 100% and taken a road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
because all the rest of the time, when we're just here around town and everything, we only charge it to about 80%. And then we hook it up to charge when it gets down to somewhere around 20. So it's always within that range. And Tesla's recommendation is like, look, don't charge it to 100%, especially if you're going to charge it and then it's just going to sit there like in a garage or anything. They're like, charge it if you're going to go on a trip. It even says on the car you can there's a little slider where you can choose how much you want it to let it charge. And the 100% charge is called the trip charge. And so we charged to 100% and then drove there with no problems at all. Got there, plugged it in at her dad's shop because he has a 32 amp circuit that we can connect to, and it just still doesn't charge quite as fast as it does here. And I was thinking we were going to be there about 3 hours. We ended up only being there about an hour and a half or two. So on the way home, we had to plan our route a little bit to where we hit one of the superchargers, the Tesla supercharger, which is only like the second time we've ever done that before. But it was kind of cool. Now I was looking at, so the way that you can do it is whenever you plan your trip,
on the free supercharges from when you got your Tesla. Did you get it on the free superchargers?
No, whenever I ordered, well, free supercharging is gone now. But when I ordered my car, the Model 3 was not eligible for free supercharging. The only one was the highest spec one, which was the performance model that's like totally decked out. That's like a $90,000 car or something like that. So it was only available for those, and now free supercharging is gone for every car. It's just that you can get like 6 months of it or whatever. But I mean, I think we charged for 30 minutes and we got like over 120 miles, and I think it cost me $3.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So it was not expensive, and it was one of those things where on the trip you can say like, okay, this is my destination. And it'll tell you, okay, based on the speed limits and all this kind of stuff, we're estimating your percentage is going to be about this when you arrive at your destination. Do you want to add a charging location along the way? And it said 5% when we get to the house if we just went straight from where we were. And I was like, I'm not comfortable with
That's when you broke out in hives.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not feeling that. So let's go ahead and take this whole swinger out and go to a little charger and juice up a little bit more on the road. But it was cool. And there's also we didn't order autopilot with our car. All of our upgrade funds, if you will, went to getting the extended range battery. And so they gave me a trial for it right now, like a month-long trial. So I've been using it. So I used autopilot all the way up there and all the way back, essentially.
Sick.
So that was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun using
Still scares me, though.
Just looping back around to the game front, like I said, I mentioned that I had platinumed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. One other thing that I do want to mention, and I understand that for PC people, they're going to be like, whatever, man, our games have had that forever. So good on you that your games have this. But they introduced a patch to this game that now that I've always known what it was, but now that I've actually gotten to use it, every RPG game needs to have this going forward. Everyone, you just need to make it part of your games. So they introduced a patch to where you could do, I think it's called transmute or transmog or something like that. Basically, it's where you put a piece of armor on your character. You just pick the ones that have the power level or the attributes that you want, because they usually have different stats and are good for damage or assassin, stuff or whatever. But you can make it look like a different piece of armor that you think looks better but is way under level. So you just it's just a visual thing. So basically I could dress my Cassandra character in the armor that I thought looked the coolest, but I could have all the armor stats of this more powerful armor that just looked kind of like dopey.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know, I hate that.
I thought that was amazing. And I the first time I ever even heard that was a thing was in Destiny 1. People were like, man, I wish you could do this, because in Destiny 1, your whole thing is you're getting weapons and armor all the time and changing it out constantly. People are like, man, I really wish they had this feature. And it's just like in WoW and all these other kinds of big MMOs and stuff that have been on PC for ages now. And now that I've had an experience of what that actually is like, it's like, man, well, number one, good on you, because they just seems like they said, hey, we heard that you'd like this, and we made it, and it didn't seem like it took them that long, which I don't know what it takes to make that, but good on them that it was easy for them to do, or rather quickly for them to do. And two, it's just awesome to finally have that. Now that they've done that, I think every game that has that mechanic or has the like armor mechanic like that should give you that option, because it's a lot of fun. Because if you have a game where you can like configure your character around, appearance matters. So, it's not the biggest thing in the world. I'm going to always default to whatever gives me the stats that I want more, but it's like, I want my character to look cool too. That's the whole point of a third-person RPG, in my opinion.
That's right.
So, good on them for that. Mm-hmm. The other thing is I did jump into Overwatch a little bit and played a little bit of the Ashe character. I don't find her nearly as difficult as the other characters where you can scope in. I find her a little bit easier, but she's still not an easy character. So, I need to dabble a little bit more.
But you like her, yeah?
Yeah, I did like her. Her Bob ultimate is pretty useful, especially in for like holding off an area, and he's pretty strong, so he's not easy to take down.
Yeah, you think they'll nerf him? He feels a little OP to me at first.
I don't know, because I'm not really sure, because in the times that I did play, when I would go in there and somebody else would throw Bob out there, I felt like it was easy to avoid him, because he'll run out there, and if he hits an obstacle or just gets to a certain distance, that's kind of where he stops. And as far as I can tell, he doesn't move again. He just stays at that spot. So as long as he's not covering like the only choke point, the only way you can go, I feel like he's pretty easy to avoid.
Gotcha.
But I didn't play it a ton, so I don't know. But I've heard from other people that are like, man, Bob seems pretty strong, so maybe they will indeed do something like that. I don't know. And I also played a little bit of Runner 3, but very
nice.
little. Yeah, so that's pretty much been it on the gaming front and the real life front.
There you go.
Nice, man.
Router,
Oh, yes.
what's going on with you?
Well, I've got a very nice Piper's topic of the week this week. She got her ears pierced.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
snap.
It only took an hour and a half of negotiation at
What?
Claire's, but she got it done. It was amazing. I'm so proud of her. She went with her friend Lily, and Lauren went, and her friend Heather, and so it was just this back and forth. Lauren just said like she was ready to bail in the first like
Let me ask you
15,
something.
20 minutes.
Can I just ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Why not just not do it?
She wanted to do it.
Oh, she wanted to do it.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. We did this before where it was Lauren, Piper, and I walking in the mall. She goes by at Claire's and she's like, I want to get my ears pierced. Lauren and I look at each other like, you sure? And she's like, yeah. So we go in, we get the earrings picked out and everything, loaded into the gun, bails on it. So I had to pay $50 for the earrings because it's no refund. Once they break it, we're done. So I was like, great. Well, that was fun. So this time we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. The good thing is that our friend Heather has like some numbing cream that she can put on her earlobe that helps. And so that's what kind of helped trigger this whole thing because her friend Lily has her ears pierced and some of our other kids at school have her ears pierced. And so I think she just wanted to do it. So it's done.
Well,
hallelujah.
good job.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't there because I would be like, all right, I'm out of here.
I know that's right.
After the first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, well, it's been fun. We're leaving.
But I would have never. I never would have fought that fight. I don't think.
Not at all. Not at all. But I mean, it was nuts. But I'm just glad that she did it because she's been wanting to do it.
Glad she did it, and you're glad you weren't
great.
there. Yeah.
So I'm very proud of her. She's off from school all this week, so we've just been hanging out. On Monday night, we went to a Preds game. My buddy Ash was like, "Hey, I got 4 extra tickets for the Preds game on Monday if anybody wants it." So it was great. We all went, and her friend Lily went with her, and we had a great time. And so it's been good. Let's see what's going on. We are not hosting Thanksgiving, thank the Lord. We're going over to our in-laws on Thursday, and just hanging out and eating lots of food. And it's been a good week. This is now massive retail holiday time for Lauren. So she's off today, and she's not going in on Black Friday. But then, we're going to be open on Sundays now, so she's working Saturday, Sunday. So it's just from here till Christmas, it's going to be pretty crazy, but in a good way. I mean, it's always an exciting, fun time. But she's just going to be a lot of late nights, and it'll be. It's the holidays. That's how it goes.
Right.
So on the gaming front, oh man, it is good to be back in Assassin's Creed. I'm playing Odyssey and absolutely loving it.
Nice.
Like I said last week, me and Overwatch kind of took a little break. I did play Ash for a little bit as well.
Oh, you did?
Very cool.
I do enjoy her character, and so it's just there's a little getting used to there, but it was fun to do. And then so I am all in with Odyssey. I am loving this game. I'm probably about 4 or 5 hours in, level 8 right now. Just going and going and going. There's so much to do, and I'm playing Cassandra as well. I think it's great, and man, it's just this is where Assassin's Creed needs to be, in my opinion. This is exactly where I'm so glad that, like I said, I'm thrilled they took that year off. The controls, as soon as I jumped in, I'm like, this is just like Origins. This is perfect. I felt super comfortable.
They are the same, in at least the way that they're configured or whatever.
What's that?
They are the same as Origins. Since I didn't play Origins.
Very similar. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And so I honestly, like, even during like the little mini tutorial phase in the beginning, I didn't really need it that much because I remembered the controls from before. And so it's so much fun. I love that there's such a mixture of stuff now. I went through the first like kind of naval missions, and it just brought me back to Black Flag. I'm like, oh, I'm in my happy place right now. This is fantastic because you can board ships, you can gain crewmen and all kind. It's great. They've really mixed it together, so it's having so much fun with it. So I'm going to be in AC Odyssey land probably for the next month and a half, and I'm going to chase that plat as well. Chris, I'm thrilled that you got the platinum. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so
one
I'm
other
super
thing
excited.
that it allows you to do, and I'm curious if this is in Origins, and then if not, I want you to know this is a thing because I didn't realize it till way, way, way far into the game. But I was spending my ability points. You get one every time you level up.
Yep.
And I purchased a couple things. I was like, man, that was kind of a dumb thing to spend my point on. I should have spent it on upgrading this other point instead because this is a feature I'm not ever using. And I don't know if you can do it at any time because, again, by the time I realized it, I was pretty far into the game. But it says that you can reset your ability points and respend them.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you can completely,
Yes,
but it's not like let me remove this one so I can have one of my points back. You have to completely wipe it. So you want to kind of know which ones you do want so that you don't completely forget. But yeah, there was a thing that said, I think it was pushing on the right stick or something like that. It said reset points. And I did it and it reset because I was focusing in this one area and it kept giving me things like, well, I bet I need to unlock all of these to get a trophy or something down the road because I hadn't looked at the list yet. And I got them all, and then I was still getting points. I'm like, why is it still giving me points? And then that's when I realized you could upgrade individual ones. I was like, man, I should have been spending these extra points on these ones I really like and making them even better. And that's when I realized, you can reset everything. And then I just upgraded the ones that I liked, and I was like, that is awesome.
From what I can remember, I do remember something about that in Origins. I never touched it because I'm like, I don't want to spend the time to reset everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling good with where I was. Mm-hmm. And in the same way right now, like I'm feeling good. I'm not dying a lot and I'm pretty powerful. And that the feature that you were talking about where you can kind of keep the armor that you want, regardless of the damage count. Is that in the settings? Because I definitely want to do that.
Whenever you go to your armor set, so you have like, head, arms, chest, and all that other stuff. When you're on the screen where you're looking at it, down in the bottom, it shows you all the name of it and all the stats and attributes that it has. And then on the bottom right, it's like an eyeball icon and has a square next to it. And if you hit that, the other thing that was really cool, because I found this piece of armor when I was really, really low. I was like level 20 something. And I just kept it because I thought it looked so cool. And I was like, man, when I beat this game, I'm just going to run around with this piece of chest armor because it just looked cool. But whenever you go in there to change the look of it and choose a different one to make it look like that, it seems as though any one that you've unlocked to that point in the game is available to you. Because I had a bunch in there. It's like, I don't have 38 chest pieces. I have like 10, but it's giving me a lot more than I have in my inventory right now. So I was like, okay, cool. So as long as you've unlocked it, I think you can always use that as a visual.
That's awesome.
Thing.
Good. Because I'm like a mishmash right now. Cassandra's got like a goat head helmet or something. And then like I'm all over the place. But right now I'm just going for, maximum armor, maximum damage.
Yeah.
Because, I've been able to beat, +2 level opponents, and especially when the bounties come around, like in the mercenaries. Like I've been doing some of that and really enjoying it. And some of them are super tough, but I've been able to beat them. But yeah, that's a great feature. I'll need to try it because I've seen some armor. I'm like, oh man, I wish I had that, and I didn't have that goat head running around. But yeah, it's super awesome. So I love being a strong Greek woman. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time with it. So I love the Odyssey. It's great.
Wait. Was that Greek?
You probably should cut that out. Because I think that's a curse word. I don't really know.
Is that Greek?
Hey, it's all Greek to me, man. Okay.
That is so funny.
So anyway, I'm having a great time.
I
with
like
this
being
game.
a Greek woman, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, jeez.
That was spot on, Gabe. Well done.
Thank you.
It was perfect. Anyway,
I've been working on it.
That's great. Yeah, man. So I'm ready for Thanksgiving. The holiday kickoff is here, and I will be in Assassin's Creed mode for a long time. So that is it for me.
There you go. Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Sarah and I just returned from our trip down to Tennessee and North Carolina. And
Man, that looked fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was just really fun. At the end of our Gatlinburg trip, we introduced the family to VR, and that was a lot of fun.
I just am
Hey.
so impressed that you carried all that around.
Yeah, man.
I know.
It all
I
fits
love
in-
that.
It all fits in a little backpack, and I just kind of carry it around. And
Yes.
Sarah's dad fell off of a chair playing. Her
Oh,
sister-in-law fell off of a chair
yes.
playing.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That's what you always hope. Oh,
Did he fall off a chair because he just wasn't paying it? Well, obviously he has a thing on, or was it like a scary game that he got scared and fell out of the chair?
No, they were both like, her dad tried to lean on a desk that wasn't there.
Yes.
Oh,
Been there.
my
Raising my hand
gosh.
right now. Been there. That's not a real desk.
God is so real.
That's right.
And her sister-in-law tried to reach for something on a desk that wasn't there.
Oh my gosh.
So
there too.
awesome.
It was so much fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we had a good time, and then we shot over to Hickory, North Carolina, to visit Mom for a few days.
How'd that
And,
go?
How's her spirits?
They're good. She's a little. She just had her operation on the 14th, so she's a little. She's still in recovery mode, sort of. She can get up and around, and we went to the store and stuff like that, and hung out.
Oh,
at
it already
Barnes and
happened?
Nobles. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, good.
I don't know
Yeah,
why I thought
yeah.
it was still a ways off yet.
No. Yeah, it happened on the 14th. So
Great.
she's just kind of like, I just want to be done recovering.
I know
Yeah.
that's right.
But we were able to slap the VR hat on her.
Oh
and her
my
husband.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And
Oh,
it was
jeez.
really fun watching her husband because he's a Southern guy that kind of does I forget his name, Hank Hill's friend who mumbled.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you couldn't
Boomhauer.
understand anything.
Boomhauer or whatever.
Yes.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
Man, get that old VR hat, man. I'm going to get out and try it.
Exactly.
VR hat, man.
We put the VR hat on him and had him play the Last Guardian demo.
Oh,
my
nice.
Gosh.
He looked up and saw a Trico up there at the ceiling, and he just leaned back in his chair. Well, what the heck's that?
That's so awesome.
It was just,
I can't believe he played The Last Guardian. That's his intro to VR.
yeah,
That's
right.
incredible. What an
Yes.
amazing game to introduce you to VR.
I know, right?
Because it's going to be so
Yes.
different than, like, even I look at VR kind of with a little side eye just because,
Right.
everything before this felt awful. It felt like Pong, like, even though it was, year 2000 and past. So that's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. My sister was in town and she played Rush of Blood.
Oh my
she-
gosh.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
You're trying to kill people.
Ah,
And then she ended up actually playing Moss for the rest of the night while the rest of us did jigsaw puzzles and hung out at the table and talked and stuff.
You're like,
and
we'll
she
just be
played-
over here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't trip on anything.
We will
You know, and every once in a while she'd be like, am I at least on the right path? And
Like,
none of
we're
us
not
were watching.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think so. You know, that kind of stuff.
You're shouting it from the other room.
Yelling from the bathroom.
Right.
You're doing
Keep
great.
trying.
Just keep going straight.
That's right. But
that's
yeah, it was
awesome.
nice. I didn't play any Red Dead Redemption 2, but my brother-in-law, he started playing it, and that's just a game that I enjoy watching someone play as much as I do playing it myself.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys know, I'm not very good at video games, so
Oh. Oh
it's
my
kind of
gosh.
fun to watch someone play who is, and so
Yeah.
you can just kind of like, oh wow, it's almost like watching an E3 demo. Like, this is how you do this mission, and this is how
Oh,
you do this
interesting.
one. And
Mm.
and he spent 3 hours tracking a bear, and it was just like, man, don't you just love a game where you can just spend 3 hours tracking a bear and it has nothing to do with anything? And it's just the vast the things people are finding to do in that game. All these articles I'm seeing and
Yep.
hidden treasures Rockstar put in there, and just fantastic. So I enjoyed watching the game be played this week. I didn't get a chance to play it myself. Got my third plat.
Oh
Yay.
my gosh.
My
I
sec-
love new Platinum Seeking Ed. This is
Yeah, I know,
amazing.
isn't it
This is
great?
crazy. This is crazy.
It's Lego Harry Potter years 1 through
Yes.
4.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I decided I'm not going to be just a general platinum hunter. I'm going to be
Yeah.
a Lego platinum hunter.
Yes.
There you
Ah,
go.
okay. There you go.
So that's my thing.
He's gonna stop every Telltale game just right before the end. Be like, I don't do platinums on these games.
Right. Nice try.
A Lego exclusive.
Yeah, almost got me.
I'll play this on the Xbox.
Exactly. Achievement unlocked.
That's right. We drove home yesterday and then stopped around, I guess it was around 7 p.m. in Cincinnati and got to see Hollywood Bones.
Oh, really?
So great,
Nice.
man.
And,
Oh, jealous.
yeah, had dinner with him and it was a really nice time. We just kind of talked and laughed and talked about Overwatch and Ash and life and just a really, really nice time that we had.
That's good people right there.
Good people. We got in about 1:30 last night, and then I hooked up we kind of really quickly just brought the bags in and whatever, and hooked up the PSVR and downloaded Beat Saber and played that for a little bit.
Oh my
I
gosh.
am so getting that. Somebody had
sleep?
sent me a while back. They're like, "Oh, here's an HDMI splitter that allows HDR pass through." Because my PSVR, the reason I detached it from my Pro, anyways, is because it doesn't allow pass through of HDR. And I was like, "Well, I want to use HDR on my new
right.
TV I got." So I had it originally hooked up on the PlayStation outside, the old one that Stacy uses. But then we just had to move it because people were coming over and it's they didn't want it. She didn't want it sitting out. I'm either going to move it back
Right.
out there or I need to find out what the heck that pass through was, whichever one works and lets the HDR go through. Because I want Beat Saber so badly.
Yes.
I've got to get that game.
Yeah, I played it a little bit before we recorded this morning, and it's a lot of fun. It's just as fun as it looks like it's going to be. I wish that it was like the PC version where it had popular songs rather than just a bunch of originals.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the enjoyment at all. And
Also, that new Tetris game, which I know you can play it without VR, but you can play it in VR, and I kind of want to give that a shot too. I forget what it's called. Tetris Effect or something.
yeah, we picked that up last week, and
Nice.
it's a lot of fun. I find it very soothing. Sarah finds it very stressful, and so
Yeah.
it just kind of depends. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah,
Nice.
looking forward to that. I'm glad you mentioned Runner, Chris, because I knew there was another game I wanted to pick up when I got back, and
Yeah,
that
and
was
it's only
definitely
$10 right now. It's like half price for launch, so it's like awesome.
Nice. So yeah, got home last night and pretty much just hooked up the PS so I could download Beat Saber and the Spider-Man update and the new DLC, and looking forward to a week of games.
One last question, and it's important.
Yes.
We all want to know: do you still have the beautiful beard?
Oh, I do. Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
you look fantastic, man. That beard's coming in nice.
Yeah, that's my question. Like, how do you look so handsome though? That's
what I'm
weird
saying,
to me.
right? I mean,
The handsomeness is a whole nother level, man. You platinum on handsomeness.
Yeah, you're like on
Exactly.
11 right now.
Well,
That's right.
You know what it is? It photographs really well.
I don't believe that at all. I'm going to ask
Because-
Hollywood Bones. I bet he's going to say it was glorious.
In person, it's a bit scraggly and just kind of rough looking, but in pictures, it looks like
rough in a sexy kind of way.
Yeah,
right?
I think you're conflating the two. Like they're one in this, one in the other. They work perfectly.
Yeah, and put up a picture. I was like, oh, who's that? Oh,
Exactly. I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm listening to that
What's
podcast.
up, Latin lover?
I will be shaving at the end of No Shave November, though, just because Sarah wants to be the one to shave it, and she wants to shave funny shapes into it.
Let her
So
shave your
sweet.
head.
She don't want other people lusting, is what it is.
That's right. That's right.
There's also that. Yes.
Get off my man.
Exactly.
I
Back
don't want
up.
to be. I don't want to be encouraging others to sin.
Right, yeah. She's like, get off my man. I found him second.
Exactly. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, man, it looks really good. Mine's kind of all over the place right
thanks.
now, and I'm like, how does he look so dang good? He must be cheating. He must be trimming it or
He
something.
must
I don't
be
know.
cheating.
This is a beard growing cheater.
Because I'm like grizzly man over here, just like, ugh. I need to go chop some wood.
It also helps if you Photoshop Hugh Jackman's head on all of your photos.
Oh well, that's very true.
That's what it is.
There's the key right there.
This is the greatest show. Mhm.
Yep.
That's
that's
funny.
so great, man.
Yeah, so yeah, good week.
There
That's
you go.
awesome. All right, Mr. Patilla, how you
Oh
been,
my
man?
Gosh, good. Wrapped up the tour this last weekend, so
Yay!
Nice.
glad to have that done.
How's that honeydew list?
It's cranking.
It's on and popping.
Yeah, we went and got our tree last night. And
Oh, nice.
Me and Jenny had a big back and forth whether it should go up yet or not. And and I went out to the shed to do some things, came back in, and there was a tree up. So,
well, there goes that.
there goes
There's
that fight.
answer.
Yep. This last weekend was cool. Man, we did a show in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I forget what the place is actually called. It's like the Shreveport, something auditorium or something. Anyway, we're kind of there and we're looking around. We're like, man, this place is cool and it's old, and you could tell some of the dressing rooms have been redone, but they hadn't changed the stage much. And then we started hearing some of the lore about the building, and they've shot movies there and all kind of stuff. Shreveport, Louisiana. This stage, though, has been there since like it was built, whenever this place was built. It's the building where they said Elvis has left the building.
Really?
Oh, wow.
That's where it originated from, was this stage. And so there's these steps that go from the alleyway where all the buses park, that go kind of like up the side of the building into the dressing rooms and where the stage is. And they were like, these are the stairs that Elvis took when he left, because I guess he came and did a surprise show during the something hayride, something that they do there. Is like a name of shows or whatever. And he had surprised everybody, and the crowd went so crazy that they couldn't like rein them back in to continue with the show. And so the promoter had to go out on the stage and was like, ladies and gentlemen, just so everybody knows, Elvis has left the building. And so
Interesting.
It was that building. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know what else went on this weekend. This tour has been so crazy. It's been like halfway being able to meet with people, half the time not being able to meet. Some of the time been like, oh yeah, let's meet up. And then being like, I can't at the last minute. And so it's been a lot of back and forth, but it was a fun time. And I'm glad we did it. I'm glad it's over. But it was a good time while we did it. Gaming wise, I did get to, and we have to say freaking happy birthday to Ed. Ed had a birthday this last weekend, and I totally missed it. Happy birthday, Edward.
Well, thank you, guys.
You beautiful bearded man, you.
Crazy enough, it falls on Neeb's exact birthday as well.
Yeah,
Remember,
it does.
Neebs wrote in last week and was like, hey, what are you getting me for my birthday? And Ed should have said a piece of my birthday cake, because it's
man.
my birthday as well. So that
I'm
was
not
cool.
here to steal his thunder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was I got to play some more games with Neebs on the road, more of that speedrunners. He also introduced me to Castle Crashers, which I'd never played before.
Right.
So that was fun that we got to do on the tour. He's who I got to play Ash with on Overwatch, because he had downloaded the update while he was home or something like that. And
Right.
and I hadn't, because I don't trust bus internet. And I was like, ugh, 20 gigs. I don't think so. And so, I got to play her a little bit. I like it. Back home now, set up everything again. Was testing out streaming stuff last night to get ready for my Extra Life stream next weekend. So you will probably see me pop onto Twitch here and there over the next week to make sure that everything's working.
Is there so on YouTube, when you streamed there, you could do a private stream so that you can test things and check it all out, but it's not like, hey everybody, Gabe's over here trying stuff out. Is there a way to do that on Twitch? I couldn't find
I have no idea. I didn't even I did most of my stuff just recording, just to see like my levels on the game and stuff like that. And so I'll probably go to strictly streaming and then ask people if anybody pops in, how it sounds and how it looks and things like that. So
Gabe, what's going to be the game of choice for you, or are you not revealing that yet?
No, I don't know. I was going to ask Ed, like, get a list of games, like, what do you think would be fine? And so I think that I'll do some Jackbox, obviously, just because it's just so good, especially during the hours that people are awake. While people are sleeping, I'm up in the air, so I don't know how long the Battlefield 5 campaign is. But I thought about what's that?
From what I hear, not very from what I hear.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't figure it's that long. So maybe 12 hours at the max. And so I was thinking about trying to do that campaign. I was thinking about Hitman 2 just because it's stressful.
Oh yeah.
And I think it'd be fun to watch.
I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, and then obviously some Jackbox, and then I think I'm gonna bring the Switch out and have Jenny come out and do some Dr. Mario, and so
Very nice.
So we'll see what all happens. I did pick up Mario Party while we were on the road.
Nice.
All right.
And that's fun. It's like as fun as I remember. Jenny hates the board game aspect of it.
Yeah.
Really?
I got her and Amara to play, and Amara loves the whole thing. But Jenny was like, "This is kind of like Monopoly." I was like, "Monopoly? Come on!" I was like, "What about these mini games?" And she was like, "They're too short to justify having to do all the board stuff." But I think what happens is, if you've never played the game before, like her and Amara had never played the game, the board game aspect can feel long. Like if you're reading all the prompts, like, okay,
Right,
and then,
right.
use an item. I can change dice. There's a lot of things to it. So I think that if you got like 4 people that had played the game, I think you could bust through it pretty quick. Then it feels like the mini games are actually a part of the game. And then when you're on the board part of it, the strategy to get where you need to get to collect stars or whatever the point of the game is, you know what I'm saying? I think it could be funner. So, but it was just struggling with me, Amara, and Jenny. And she's like half playing, like barely holding the Joy-Con. And I'm like, now you hit your button. You know what I mean? It's just like so stressful. I was like, this sucks. But yeah, Thursday going over to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. And then the wife just laid on me that I guess on Saturday we're hosting her dad's side of Thanksgiving.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yes. So that sucks.
Good. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brother.
I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, we're hosting on Saturday. I was like, this Saturday? She was like, uh-huh. I was like,
I got to go think of something to do.
Yeah, exactly. I just moved my Extra Life stream up. So, so anyway, Milo turns 2 on Friday.
That's amazing. I don't believe it.
So that's
I don't
nuts.
believe it.
Same day as Stancil. So, I mean, Stancil doesn't turn 2, but they share a birthday. So happy birthday.
Sure acts like it sometimes.
Happy birthday, Stancil.
Right?
Happy birthday, Stancil. Happy birthday, Milo. Love both of you guys. I love one of you more. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah, right.
Depends on the day. And yeah, that's about it. I definitely forgot something, but I'm just too tired to be able to figure it out. Router.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
Well, let's do it!
All right, here we go. The big wig for this week. And I think this is probably it for like the major releases for this quarter. Battlefield 5, PC, PS4, and Xbox One is out this week.
That's right.
Here's the biggest of them all, though. Farming Simulator 19 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah, step back, shovel some
That's
stuff.
right. That's right. Jurassic World Evolution Secrets of Dr. Wu DLC for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. As Eduardo said, Spider-Man Turf Wars DLC is out this week.
Oh, dang it! I'm so far behind, dog.
I am too. I haven't played any of the DLC stuff
Me
yet.
either.
Oh, man.
Shoot.
Get there. And then here's one for the Switch for you, Gabe. Nidhogg 2 is out. Comes out for the Switch this week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have MPD for October.
Oh, let's hear it.
Here we go. Ready for this? Total spending, $1.5 billion.
Yes, sir.
Up 73%.
What?
From last October.
73%?
Up 73%. It was 894 million last year. 1.5 billion this year. That's total. That's hardware, PC, and accessories.
What the heck?
Hardware was up 26%. 300 million from 238 million last year.
I wonder if Sony's just bowing like, you're welcome.
Yep.
I know, right?
You're welcome.
They are.
Yeah.
PC and console software, 965 million, up 104%.
What in the world?
From 473 million. And accessories, 280 million, up 54% from 182 million. Best-selling games of October. Here we go. Number 10, WWE 2K19.
What?
Number 9.
I just wanted one of those.
Number 9, Madden
He's so
NFL
good at
19. Number 8, Marvel's Spider-Man.
Nice.
Number 7, FIFA 19. Number 6, Soul Calibur 6. Number 5, Super Mario Party.
Oh yeah.
Number 4, NBA 2K19. Number 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
So that must have been a pre-release on that Super Mario Party, because that just came out this last Friday, which is in November.
Yeah, you might be right, actually. I don't have any info on that, but that's very possible. So we'll see. All right, here we go. The heavy hitters. Number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, which means Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is the number 1 best-selling game. It is the best-selling game of October. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 launch month dollar sales represent the 8th highest in video game history since the NPD group began tracking in 1995. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 instantly becomes the best-selling game of the year and the second best-selling game across the past 12-month period, trailing only Call of Duty World War II. Red Dead Redemption came out later in the month than Call of Duty, so that probably explains why it's number 2 and not number 1. Let's see. But it was long enough to make a dent in the October chart. With just 9 days of reported sales for Red Dead Redemption 2, it is the second best-selling game of October 2018. It is now also the second best-selling game year to date. With just 9 days of reported sales. It's already the second best-selling game to date.
Wow.
And there was no GTA on there, right?
No, GTA got booted this month, I should say. That's
Look at that.
interesting.
Music's
Yeah,
got to
call.
figure something out.
Good call. Yeah, right. Seriously, music's got to get their act together. Or something.
Yeah, we need to start releasing some entertainment that you can't not have.
Exactly. Right. Let's see. Red Dead launch month sales more than tripled those of the previous title in the series, Red Dead Redemption, which launched in May of 2010. On the hardware front, PlayStation 4 outperformed the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch, both in terms of dollars and units sold in October. So PlayStation is, again, the winner for the month of October. This was actually one of the best Octobers for any PlayStation console ever.
What?
So,
This year into the life cycle? What the heck?
Isn't this weird? It's blowing my mind. Microsoft's still seeing good gains, but the Nintendo Switch is still having some tough comparisons to its debut last year. Because there's no Zelda or Mario, the console sales have slowed down quite a bit. My guess is, though, in November and December, we'll probably see that spike up again because
Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas and Nintendo and
Kwanzaa.
the Switch would be so good
Black
for
Friday.
families anyway. So, but what a month! I mean, that's pretty dang incredible.
That is
to be
awesome.
up 73%, and just with 9 days being in October for Red Dead, and it's already the second best-selling game of the year is ridiculous.
I know. Red Dead's sitting back with a glass of wine with their pinky out. Like,
that's right.
We've only just begun.
Exactly. So I am sure in November, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it takes over Call of Duty.
Wow.
Next month. But man, what titans that is right there. Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So there you have it.
Awesome.
And doesn't Red Dead's online start? Is it this month?
I know it's sometime. Maybe it is sometime in November. Like maybe next week.
Man, when that happens,
I
it
don't
is
know.
over.
Oh, yeah, that's a wrap.
It is over for everybody else. That's it. You're done. So we didn't have any oops. And that is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Chris McCracken,
Yes.
hit us off.
All right. Well, it would appear that E3 this year is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah,
Just a
wow.
little, man.
So
Boo. I say boo.
Sony
I
came
do too.
out and basically said, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and skip E3 this year."
It was a leak, right? It was like a tweet that was up and then
No,
got taken down. What was it?
So what it was is that E3, I guess, around this time each year, is they put out some kind of press release that kind of starts the hype train of like, oh, E3 2019 or whatever the following year is going to be really great and everything like that. And buried within there was a mention of how Sony's not going to be part of it. And then so Variety had, and everybody has access to this press release once it's released, but they had written some article and tweeted it out that said, the headline was something like E3 or Sony's going to be skipping E3 or something like that. But then when you would click on the link on Twitter, it went to a 404 page. So there was some confusion about like, wait a minute, what's going on and everything. And then quickly other outlets started reporting the same thing. And then Sony eventually came out with their own statement about it. it kind of doesn't really give you any real specifics. It just says as the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for innovative opportunities to engage with community. PlayStation fans mean the world to us, and we always want to innovate, think differently, and experiment with new ways to delight gamers. As a result, we have decided not to participate in E3 2019. We're exploring new and familiar ways to engage with our community in 2019 and can't wait to share our plans with you. And that's pretty much it.
They're doing their own thing then. So they're going to have their own.
I don't remember if it was on Twitter or if it was like one of the outlets asked for a follow-up and then they published it, but there was somewhere that somebody from a Sony officially said that we are confirming we're not doing anything around the week, because there was some thought that like, oh, well, maybe Sony will just do their own thing, but it'll be like down the road. Kind of like how, because that's the way that Microsoft did it last year, is that they did their own thing at the Microsoft Theater. They just did it the same week of E3. And I think on the actual show floor, I don't think they had a bunch of game stuff set up. I think they mostly had like a mixer booth and talked about some stuff there. So it wasn't quite the same as like when we all went. So I'm not sure if that was part of like a follow-up question or if that was on Twitter or somewhere, but there was some kind of mention about they were saying like, we're not doing anything that week. So I still believe that they're going to do something, if not before E3 or after E3. There's no way that they're not going to do anything. I mean, it may not be right there around that window, but there's no way the next year they're not going to do anything, because we know this coming December, they're not going to have PSX because they already canceled that. They're not going to go a complete year. The thing that I thought originally was like, oh, maybe they're going to go the whole direct route because I'm sure that's cheaper. And, you know, Nintendo's been doing it for a while and seems to do well for them. I was like, maybe they're going to do something like that. But it seems as though they're not going to have any type of presence at E3 proper in any way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my gut tells me it's, if not a little bit before, something after it, maybe in like later June or maybe July, they'll have something, or maybe they'll be part of Gamescom again.
Yeah, or they might do something in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Something themselves.
Yeah.
I don't remember how the PSXs fall, but the PlayStation
were all in December, there at the.
So yeah, and since they canceled that one or whatever, I just wonder if they're going to do. But it sounds like they're saying we don't really have anything to tell y'all. Is kind of what it feels like they're saying.
Yeah,
I do think that's a big part of it.
Well, or conversely, it could be, hey, we've got a lot going on. We want to give E3 a shot, but we want full attention on us. We're going to set up our own thing either before or after and really hit it home.
Yeah, now I do feel like it does kind of make sense that they're like, hey, you know, whenever we were part of E3, which granted, E3 is like the big thing and everybody, for the most part, most people, like fans and everything, love E3 and the stuff that comes out of E3. It's a big celebration kind of thing, but I could totally see one of the players, whoever it would be, I don't know if this is PlayStation's motivation, but I could see somebody being like, hey, man, if we were doing our own thing, at least then we'd get all the attention. It wouldn't be we're sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, that's
kind of actually surprises me that more of them haven't started breaking off and doing their own thing, only because then you get all the mind share when you do it if it's on your own time frame. But at the same time, I'm glad we went to E3 when we did, because
I'm about to say, were we at the last real E3? That's interesting.
I know, that's what it feels like.
I think you're right, man. I think you're absolutely right.
I wanted to encourage people that, you know, might have planned on going, or it's been a dream of theirs and they were going to try to work out going. This doesn't mean that PlayStations won't be at E3. You know what I'm saying? E3 is also very developer heavy. And so there's still going to be developers there, and even first party games with Sony that'll probably still be showing on the floor and there to play and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's just, they just probably won't have like the Sony area set up across from the Xbox area. You know what I mean? Like how they usually do, but there'll probably still be plenty of PlayStations to play on the show floor. So I thought this was interesting. I had not heard of this before, but CBS
what is up with this?
Has announced the Gamers' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
And that thing is 3 days after the Game Awards. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how these two juxtapose each other. I mean, on one side, obviously, the Game Awards is streamed online and seems to not be worried about time constraints and commercials and things like that. They can let people talk for a long time. The Gamers' Choice Awards is obviously going to be on a network. And so it's going to be really interesting. And it's just weird to me that I'm just now hearing about this. Like, I feel like it's just been this last week or the week before. I didn't hear murmurings about this. It was very out of the blue.
Say it one more time. It was very out of the blue.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but they're gonna have, favorite male streamer, favorite female streamer, favorite game, favorite esports game, and so it seems like it's a little bit like, because
These are all led, with like fan favorite.
yeah, they're
So,
all
is it
I mean,
gonna be
it was
completely
gamer's choice,
Yeah. So does that mean it's going to be completely voted on by the audience? And if so, is that going to go up soon? It's like it feels very.
It is up. It is up at
It is.
gamerschoice.tv. You can go vote.
It's so weird
for all these things. But I just was CBS, huh? Like not because of CBS, but I'm just thinking like, wow, a major network is doing a game awards. Like that is weird to me out of nowhere.
It was bound to happen sooner or later, in my opinion.
It's like the Walgreen Game Awards. It's like, what?
I stumbled across the actual nomination show I think it was on Saturday. And I'm like, oh, what's this Gamer's Choice? I'm like, okay, interesting. And then the two people who were on were just gabbing back and forth. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. Because it was just like they were doing the whole hype thing. And well, coming up next, we've got blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we're done. And Fortnite, and we're done.
Right,
so,
exactly. Fortnite's like,
I didn't watch
like the main picture
all,
that they've been using.
Exactly. But I was like, this is interesting.
You know what else is a little bit crazy? Just browsing through this list of all their categories, I don't see Red Dead Redemption anywhere on here at all.
That's
which
a mistake.
Is kind of weird.
It is weird.
Wow.
Not anywhere.
Reading from their website, it says the awards are 100% fan voted. Only you can determine the winners across dozens of categories. An unprecedented 12 hours of programming dedicated to this inaugural salute. It's the Gamers' Choice Awards exclusively on CBS. So that is,
okay.
They are, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the right choice of words there. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
This could be a total train wreck or it could be awesome.
So
you never know.
It looks like the actual awards are going to be Sunday, December 9th from 5 to 6 Eastern, which, football.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Sure.
But, it's kind of going to slide in that window of kind of like,
gamers don't like sports.
Yeah, well, it's going to slide in that like after the 12 and 1 o'clock games, but before the night games, but probably be going on during some of the afternoon games. So we'll see.
Man.
That's all I can say about it. We'll see.
I couldn't agree more. That's the perfect way to say it. We will see.
Yes. And I hope, and this is just, I don't know, this is the old man in me. I just hope Fortnite doesn't just take everything and it's just everything's Fortnite.
Too late.
Well, we will see.
Yeah. We will see. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
vote today.
Yeah, vote today. Christopher.
Sorry, I was looking at those. I was trying to see it for a moment. I was like, I don't even see Fortnite anywhere, but now I found it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So another big kind of rumor that has not been confirmed yet, but is pretty heavily being pushed right now, is that Microsoft is going to be releasing a new version of the Xbox One.
Yes.
That is going to be without a disk drive.
Like they wanted to.
Yes. And supposedly, along with the release of this console, and which, by the way, the rumors right now say that the main reason for this is so that they can get the costs down, not only on manufacturing, but also an even cheaper Xbox out the door. And the kind of price that they're trying to go for is under $200 or less for this console, this Xbox One.
Yep.
No idea what that would mean for like how big the hard drive would be or any of that.
I was
going to
say that's going to be key right there.
And one other thing that they're saying that is possibly going to be part of this is a system where you can go from disc to digital. So, for instance, if you bought one of these Xbox Ones, but maybe you already had an Xbox One, you have all these discs, and then you buy this one because it's like the S and it's nicer and slimmer or whatever, but you have all these discs, there's going to be a place where you can go to different retailers that are participating, like a Microsoft store or possibly other ones, and you could turn in your disc and they would basically give you a digital download code or some type of swap to where you could trade your disc for a digital version of the game. And I don't think this can become as any real surprise, but I'm all about this.
Yes, you are.
I am totally fine with this.
That's shocking, right?
And I think it's a great thing because if this generation is going to last another year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, this is just the exact kind of thing that we need to start ushering in and get people cool with that, hey, digital downloads and everything, because I feel like this entire generation, digital sales have gone up and up and up. So people are getting more and more used to it. So once you have an outlet like this where that's the only way to play the games on that particular model, it just baby steps you in. You're not worrying about ticking off all the people that like their physical copies because they still have an outlet where it's with which they can go do that. But this just gets more and more people used to this idea of things being digital. And even though I think both systems could benefit from having this kind of baby step into that realm, on the surface level, it seems like Microsoft is the one that's in a better position to do it simply because they have like Game Pass and all that kinds of things. They have the Game Pass subscription and everything, which is completely digital right now.
Yes.
And I mean, Sony does have PlayStation Now, and it does include digital downloads to some extent right now as well. But I think Game Pass just really is at the forefront of everybody's mind right now. That's in the gaming front because it's made so many waves in the industry. I think this is an awesome thing, and I don't have a need to replace my Xbox One. But if it came out and it's like $150 and it's like smaller, let's say, and more the S version that has like HDR and whatnot, I mean, I might look around at upgrading possibly. It depends.
Yeah. And they're not saying how big the hard drive is right now
because that's the big question.
That is such the big question for me.
But I would be willing to guarantee that whatever it is, it's going to have, like, even the OG Xbox One had multiple USB ports, so they're probably going to rely on their expandable storage. I doubt that if their whole idea of it is to reduce cost on making it so they can make more money on the console, I doubt the price is going to be like they're going to reduce one thing and then upgrade on the other thing to where it's a wash. I don't feel like they would do that. I mean, maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe the real play on this is just to get people even more interested in the digital side. Maybe that's really the main focus of it, and it's not so much a cost thing for them.
Do you think that this is at all, and I'm saying this and not believing it myself, but do you think this is all a bad precedent to set when you come out and say, hey, we're doing this so it can be cheaper, so more people can get it, so that you don't have to buy physical but all digital for when the next Xbox comes out? Like, do you feel like the next one will be, with this baby step, do you think the next one will be no disc? But then if it's $500, people still feel weird about that. Like, wait, but if there's, if you took all this stuff out, why is it not cheaper? Or do you think that even?
No. Wait, I'm sorry.
Like, do you think that the next Xbox will still be like, between $400 and $500?
Yes, I do.
And no disc.
Yeah. Yes.
But if there's no disc, then they're focusing on performance and processing, which is great. You need to do that. But I don't know, man. For me, it's all about hard drive space. Like, I don't want to have to get an additional hard drive like for a while if I don't need to. Because, older games, I can remove my save files and all that stuff because I won't go back and play them. But I would just hate to have something like this and then 2 or 3 games in having some storage issues and having to rework things and move around.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's going to be the X version or the,
there's no. My thought is it's probably only going to be a different version of the Xbox One S, if I had to guess. But who knows? Maybe they'll do a discless version of both of them. I don't know.
I think it's great they're giving people an option, though. I mean, that help. All right, look, they're introducing this into the market now. So if you don't want to get a physical copy of a game, and you kind of have to choose that route. If you're going to get a new console, do I want the option to have both, or do I want to just go strictly digital? The fact that they're introducing this, yes, I think it's necessary because so many people do digital now anyway. I, of course, am old school and love physical copies, so I will always go with the disc part of the console. But yeah, it's definitely, you're right, Chris. It's definitely the start of introducing to something new. So when next gen comes around, nobody's going to be surprised.
So let me is it just simply that's one more thing I don't want to do it? Like, what's your hang up with just adding an external drive?
You're just managing it, maybe. I don't know. I've never had to do it, and it's fine. And if my storage does get full, then I'll just remove old save files, and I'm fine. But I don't want to have to constantly worry about that all the time.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, it's just more convenience for me. Like, I just want to be able to play my games. If I need to save, I save. And I don't need to have when I'm downloading. You don't want to run into it
right away, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and that could happen very quickly with all these AAA games and how big they are. And so, keeping that in mind just making sure that the hard drive is pretty solid for this.
Yeah.
Well, but
Interesting.
most of the consoles, of course, this is at the beginning of the generation, I understand, but they all came with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, even though even in the beginning of the generation, a lot of the games are really large. So I feel like at the very least, you're not going to run into it to where like 2 games in necessarily, because not every game is Red Dead Redemption 2 where it's 100 gigabytes. I mean, you do have, if you get like the Master Chief Collection, you're looking at a large number again. I could see them putting in a 1 terabyte because I feel like most of the consoles these days, not all of them, but a lot of them come with the one. So I feel like you'd be at the very minimum maybe could have that.
That's true.
Which definitely would keep you fine for a while. As far as the management side of it goes, not on neither one of my consoles, because I have an external drive on both of them, and neither one of them have I gotten to where one's completely full and I'm having to use the other one. But basically, it basically says, hey, do you want to use, whenever you download a new game, do you want it to go to the internal or do you want to go to external? And you just choose, and it just does it.
Okay.
And it's just, I would assume that once you fill one, it'll just, and we're switching to the next. Now, where I don't know how it handles it is if, let's say, like on my Xbox One, it's a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Let's say I'm putting in a game and I have 35 gigs of space, and this game is 48.
Right.
Does it
what happens? Do they split it?
Does it know that as it starts and it says, okay, I'm going to go and just start it on the bigger drive, or can it go across 2? I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like that's a problem you would so infrequently run into that it really wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I think next generation, my hope in a way is that it will be that they'll just rely on external media, and that the ones that are inside the consoles, hopefully they'll be like straight SSDs, which by its nature to me says that they're going to be smaller in capacity. But I like the idea of it being like the OS and everything just moving super fast, as fast as it could off of an SSD rather than a spinning drive. That's what my hope is. But that makes me think they're going to continue this reliance on external drives for space and whatnot. And I think the prices are going to be still be high, like $400, $500 or whatever it is, because I think their justification for that is going to be, but look, now we have 84,000 gigawatts or whatever of this, that, or whatever. And I'm thinking that's what they're going to justify the price of.
Yeah, they're going to go for the performance. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I think for me, like for me, it's all just a convenience thing. I love the idea that a console is just an all-in-one box. You plug in and you go. You don't necessarily have to worry about peripherals.
That's right.
And because if I needed to start getting additional storage and all this, I might as well just get a PC at that point, because then you're. But I love the fact that a console just has that convenience of it's an all-in-one thing, and for me, I like that. That's all. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, obviously, I will probably end up getting an external hard drive at some point because of all the games I play. But it's just maybe it's just a perception thing for me.
I think when you finally cross that bridge, you're going to realize, there's the barrier to entry.
It's not a big deal, right?
Is much smaller than you anticipate. But I do hear you. I totally am with you. That's the main reason why I play console games, is because I like the ease of use and the plug into my TV and sit on my couch and everything like that. And I hear that the more that you have to move things around, it starts becoming more like PC gaming, but you're not having to deal with drivers and all this other stuff. Like you still, when you go to start the game, barring any weirdness, for the most part, whatever console you use, the game just starts and plays. You don't have to worry about, I've got to update my drivers, or I got to go to the NVIDIA's sites and do the thing, and you don't have to do any of that kind of junk. It just, in theory, just works. Yep. So if all I have to do is add a hard drive, even Ed does this kind of modding, so we can totally get into this kind of modding.
Yeah, that's very true.
All you do is plug it in, man.
Yeah.
Boom, modded.
Oh,
I just hope that it has more than one port, because
especially
if you've got the the PSVR, one is for the hard drive, one is for the PSVR, and then you need, you don't have any to charge any remotes with, and that does get to be kind of a hassle. And
I wonder too if, like, whenever the next generation starts, it wouldn't even surprise me if if the ports on it, if they move to USB-C. Like, I could see that being a thing. And that's
that'd be trying to semi-future-proof yourself a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like USB-A, that standard, that port style is going to still be around for years to come, but I feel like more and more and more it's going to be going away.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely saves something on size and space. I don't know what it costs to put in a USB-C port versus USB-A, but it definitely saves some space. And if they're trying to make these things smaller and smaller, space is of a premium.
Yeah. It's just so weird for me, like, being a gamer my whole life. It's so crazy to see how many iterations of the Xbox have come out. Like, to know that it was like the OG, then the S, then the X, then diskless. And so it's like, man, I wonder when, like, it makes me wonder when's the next Xbox going to come out, and are you like kind of taking, the share from yourself a little bit? But if it's not, coming out for 2 more years, then it makes sense. But if it comes out next year, then that feels like, so we're going to have a discless Xbox and a new Xbox in the next year and a half, or, or what? So,
I mean,
we'll see.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it could get confusing, but I feel like of the 2 major players, and because Nintendo always does, their own little thing, but between Sony and them, I could totally see Microsoft just pulling off and we just had, it's the Xbox. And sure, there's different specs, but they just moved to that and they don't have these different naming conventions. Like, it can get confusing for the consumer, like for the moms and pops that are going to try to buy the things. But
yeah, exactly.
Whereas Sony, I feel like Sony's always going to be like a PS5, 6, 7, or whatever it is. I think they're going to stick with that. I could totally see Xbox we're just Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
I still like the Ocho the best. I think that'd be perfect.
Speaking of Microsoft, this has made me a little sad, but a little happy because I don't like her. But it looks like they're moving away from Cortana, and Microsoft stores are now selling Amazon Alexas.
Perfect.
Selling the dots and stuff like that. So I was like, at my first, and I know Cortana's been here for a minute, but I've only got to know her on the Xbox One. And so with the Connect and talking to her, and she was awful. And so horrible. And so I just thought it was funny to see that Microsoft stores now are like, just buy a dot or something like that. It'll be better for everyone if you just buy a dot.
Alexa, tell Cortana to tell Siri to ask Google something, okay?
Right. Perfect. Yes.
Exactly. In that game of telephone, Siri is jacking that up for sure. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that. Chris, what else you got?
Last little thing that I have is there was recently a patch that came out for Fallout 76, which is having some struggles.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But people are not liking that game.
No.
Yeah. I mean, some people are liking it.
Well, of
and
course,
then there's
that's
the
with
vast
everything.
majority that do not and have a lot of issues with it. And this most recent update was 47 gigabytes.
Oof.
However, the patch notes just basically say some issues have been addressed and some performance issues have been fixed. And that's kind of it. So it's like, all right, well,
yeah,
that's a lot of gigabytes for just doing some hiccup fixes. So I haven't jumped into, I'm not a Fallout person. I've said before on the podcast, I don't really get drawn into most games that are coming out of the Bethesda camp. But Fallout in particular has just never interested me. Are any of you guys interested in, because some of you have played some of the previous Fallouts. Anybody interested in 76?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I've played them and they just don't click with me, but it's kind of a bummer just because so many people who do love the game so much, and to see it just kind of sit there and get that kind of reaction, it's like, oh man, I feel bad that they've been looking forward to this game like I'm looking forward to some of my favorite games, and
I know,
just a bummer to see it not kind of take off like you wished it would.
And their press conference was so fun. Like I was when I watched it, I'm like, maybe I'll get back into the whole Fallout thing, because I bailed on 4 really early in the game because I was just like, this is too overwhelming, and it just didn't resonate with me. But with this one, I was a little bit more excited just on how they presented it, and I'm like, it's a great idea, and just to see that kind of happening, I'm like, ugh, that stinks.
Yeah, I felt exactly the same way Tim said. Like after E3, and we were all riding high on their press conference, and to see the game come out and just kind of like try to land the plane somewhere, it's like, oh no, like people love this franchise and doggone it, and it's supposed to be pre all the other games, so there seems to be such a great opportunity to do some really cool things there, and it just seems like it's not hitting on all cylinders, and that's killing me. I don't know if I've seen a positive headline about Fallout 76 yet.
Oof.
Or if I have, it's like, I know people hate it, but I kind of like it. And you're like, oh man, that doesn't sound that positive.
And put that on a billboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Box quote.
Exactly. That's the box quote right there.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Makes me so sad.
That stinks.
Ed, nothing, right, from you?
Nothing from me.
Big old 0.
Exactly.
Big old 0.
Love that beard,
Just
though,
a
man.
beautiful beard.
That's
right.
And
Must
family
be tough.
falling down to VR.
That's right.
That's amazing, by the way.
That was fun.
Well, every week we ask you guys. Oh, I did want to say this.
Yes.
It is official. We talked about the maybes going on, but it is official that Skybound is going to be finishing up the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And on their website, they said, this is the first paragraph, "Thank you for your patience while we worked with Telltale to take control of Telltale's The Walking Dead. It's been a ton of work logistically and legally to get us to a place where we're able to roll up our sleeves and get to the actual work. After Telltale shut its doors, the game was unfortunately unable to be worked on, and hence the release date of episode 3 and 4 have been delayed. But we're excited to let you know that many of the talented, passionate team members who originally worked on the game are resuming development efforts today." And so
Awesome.
I love that. Obviously no date yet, but it said if you already purchased season 4, you will not have to pay again, which seems like a no duh. But
you never know.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different company.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, and I think there's so much weight to that sentence. It's been a ton of work logistically and legally to get us to a place where we're able to roll up our sleeves and get to actual work. Because when you think about just what Ed said, like with it being a different company and like, how do you work that into the store where it's coming from somewhere else? It's not, all coming from the same place anymore. And
It'd be a nightmare.
you would think it's got to be just, there's somebody at a computer just typing all day to try to get this thing migrated over. So,
and even like you had mentioned before, you imagine them saying, "You guys were doing it like this," and that statement kind of makes it sound like that's what happened.
Exactly. It's
Like this thing was so broken when we found it.
Right.
We're gonna have to delay this a few weeks.
Right. They found Humpty Dumpty. So
That's right.
So I'm really excited about that. I stopped playing after 400 days, but I know that there's so many people that are in love with this franchise, and so I'm so glad that they were able to figure something out and actually move forward.
Yeah, really.
Yes. So good on you, Skybound.
Mm-hmm.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different, except that we asked you a question with a side question.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So part 1 was, when was there a time you felt really stupid trying to explain a game to a non-gamer? And starting over on Twitter, we've got at Dante's Belmont, Legend of Zelda. For starters, Zelda is the princess. The guy is Link. And yes, they're all in the game, but no, it's not the same Link and Zelda. Because if you've played it, sometimes Link looks different. Sometimes Zelda looks different. You don't have to play one to follow the story on another one, but yeah, it helps. And breaking stuff gives you gems to buy stuff. So I definitely get that. Our girl Haley at Haley Zorel explaining Fallout to a coworker who asked what it was about when she felt stupid.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jeff the Android at Remake Yourself. Persona. All of them. Well, it's about high school kids and you get to go to class, have a job, go on dates with high school girls. But I mean, then they go into an alternate dimension by jumping through a TV and fight demons with their teddy bear friend. It's hardcore.
Nice.
That sounds about right.
That's awesome.
At Metaphysics, I remember trying to explain Jet Set Radio. So you're a gang of rollerbladers who want to spray graffiti on stuff, and you have to stop the government who doesn't want you to spray graffiti or grind on stuff in rollerblades in public places. It's super fun.
I love your reading of these.
Yeah.
I know, this is perfect.
Over on Facebook, we've got Mike Doherty. Every time talking to my wife.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's how things are when I come home from the road, like something really funny's happened on the road and I try to explain it to my wife when I get home. It never translates, ever. You just had to be there. Herman Scott said, the moment I tried explaining Kingdom Hearts and said, there's Disney characters in it, awkward looks ensued. LOL. Josh Stapleton, streeting. I had a stretch where a coworker and myself really got into the mobile game Robot Unicorn Attack 2. When
You had me at robot.
had me a robot unicorn.
Exactly.
When
Had
other
me at 2.
exactly. When other coworkers overheard us talking about upgrading our horns and manes, we got really strange looks. So we tried to back up and explain the game. Trying to explain an endless runner that uses a unicorn jumping around clouds while erasures always plays on repeat was not an easy task. Those weird looks didn't go away. I know that's right. Brennan Leavitt? It has to be when I was trying to explain Final Fantasy 15 to my coworker who was thinking about getting back into games. Needless to say, I think he thought I was smoking something. That's good stuff. Over on Discord, Romaine Nick Fallhaber, another one. Every time I've tried to explain Kingdom Hearts to anyone. Most recently, my boss was in my store and asked to borrow my keys to get in my office while I was helping a cashier check out a customer. On his way back, he was looking at the Heartless symbol keychain and asked me what it was. Nerd cover was blown. And that's funny. Oh, this is funny. Stumpwater Jack. I mean, there was that time I tried to explain Monster of the Week to you guys.
That's true.
With great success, obviously.
Exactly. Fluxel. I used to play a ton of Ingress, which is the game Niantic did before Pokemon. The game involved capture points and connecting those capture points, but you could only do it in triangles, and it was a geolocation. It was a geolocation do. So you had to go to specific locations. That's not even half the game. Needless to say, it was next to impossible to explain to pretty much anyone without a whiteboard. I played for years and never got better at explaining the game. In the plus side, I've made some pretty good friends because of the game. Hashtag Team Enlightened.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Part 2 of the question of the week was, what are you thankful for? Mike Doherty over on Facebook. Life and family. Week in the ER, ICU. Will really put things into perspective. I know that's right. Glad you're better, buddy. Jeff, man, this is cliche, but I'm really feeling it recently. I'm thankful for my kids. 5.5 and just turned 1. These two kids are best buds. My wife and I did I mention I'm tired? My wife and I are not only children, so we have no idea what they feel towards each other, but the way both of them always light up the second they see each other and how my daughter always engages with him whenever she walks past is just awesome. This year, and especially recently, I'm incredibly thankful that I get to see their love for each other and experience a sibling bond vicariously through them. That's really sweet, Jeff.
That's great, Jeff.
And commas.
I'm thankful for commas.
Yeah. Calm Fury. I'm thankful for my family and my new job. The job is allowing us to meet financial goals more quickly than before. The love I have for my wife and daughter has been overwhelming. We recently went to a wedding, and when the father-daughter dance started, I thought about my daughter, who is still a baby, getting to that point, and just broke down in tears because I was so overwhelmed by how much I love her and want for her. I love that my wife started laughing at how bad the tears were flowing. I had to go outside and get some fresh air.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's incredibly
That's really
sweet.
great. Yep.
And we have 2 voicemails.
Nice.
Ooh, bring it on.
You can always call us at 702-703-MTTG. So let's hear these voicemails.
Hey guys, you wanted to know what we were thankful for? So I want to say thanks for this podcast and the Married to the Games community. It's a great to get a weekly dose of game talk and to hear about all four of you. It's kind of an anchor for me in my life. Sometimes a little chaotic. The good weeks, you get 2 hours to relax and enjoy a podcast about games with some life thrown in. Bad weeks, it's pretty much the same thing. 2 hours to relax and enjoy a podcast about games with some life thrown in.
Nice.
I'd like to say the podcast is almost always positive. All four hosts bring their own perspective and character to the show, and it's great. I always look forward to hearing what's new in gaming as well as what's going on with the four of you. Also, a big thanks to the community that you guys have helped build. It's fantastic. It's pretty rare and special. Everybody I've talked to is supportive, respectful, positive, fun. It's a great place to hang out. So Gabe, Tim, Ed, Chris, thanks for building a 5-star podcast and a community that I'm thankful to be part of. So happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody in the community.
Amazing.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Sick.
I love that.
Thank
love
you.
that. Love
I'm not
that.
crying.
I'm not crying.
You're crying. I'm not crying.
This next one is a little bit on the longer side, but I wanted to play it just because we are about games and life and games. Games is in there twice. Life is in there twice.
What's up? This is Robert Darrellgood Jr. I wanted to answer this week's side question mainly. I just wanted to say I'm thanking God specifically for this. You have to understand I'm newly single as of September 26, 2017. There are people in my life I've respected and loved, but in the past, I've never really looked to anyone as a hero. But I was dealing with this divorce for almost exactly a year, and I was legitimately afraid at one point that my kids would be taken away from me. When we separated, I couldn't have been more isolated socially. I had no one to support me as a single dad of 2 kids. I had to reach out to people I had stopped talking to over the course of my marriage, and I had to make a lot of apologies. I also made a lot of new friends along the way. What I found was that no one judged me for what happened. There were some who had been hurt, and we talked things out, but they were still understanding of it. I just need you to understand that I'm not sure this divorce could have gotten uglier, but so many people pulled together to help with legal expenses, childcare, and just emotional support. And then there was this community. Some, like Kaboski, didn't even know the fire I was walking through when we played together. And I think it was a Stapleton who found me on Twitter, and my follower list went from 0 to 45 over the next 12 hours. All of that,
Street
and
team.
knowing that Gabe, Chris, Ed, and Tim were praying for us made me feel a little less isolated. And then there was me. I'm thankful for the fire and the person that I've become on the other side of it. This year, I thank God for all the heroes in my life, and I'm also thankful to the heroes who have let me in on their struggles, let me see them face the fire, or allowed me to support them through it. They are all inspirations to everyone around them. I could not really understand or appreciate them until I faced my own fire and became someone I appreciated. If you're facing your own fire, remember that your life has led to it. It's not just a trial. It's not your doom. It's not the end of the world. It's your moment. If you were created for it, and it's not the end that matters, it's how you get there.
All right
Be
now.
your own hero, and don't be afraid to call on others to stand with you. And to answer the main question this week, Viva Pinata. Thank you.
That's awesome, Robert.
Wow, Robert. Amazing.
I said I'm not crying.
Nope. Nope.
Man, thank you guys so much
Wow.
for
Yes, thank you.
that.
Jeez.
It's just like
Well, that made my Thanksgiving.
I know, right?
I'm so overwhelmed by like our community is just something else. It is
Isn't
something else.
It really is.
I don't know who the first caller was, but like I couldn't agree more that this community that I've never been a part of anything like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that amazing communities don't exist elsewhere. I'm sure there's amazing communities everywhere. But just like Ed said, getting to meet up with Patrick and, me being able to meet up with Jared and Derek a couple weeks ago, it's just a sweet, sweet, sweet reminder of how amazing you guys are. Oh, my gosh. Anyway. Thank you guys for answering the question. We so appreciate you guys. And thanks for being transparent and open.
Yes.
And I love the fact that this podcast can bring a smile to someone who's going through a bad week or going through a good week. That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys. We're here to talk. And so we, like Ed and Chris have said so many times in the past too, it's not just us to you guys, but you guys to us. You guys encourage us too, and help us get through what we're going through. We've had, obviously, recently we've had cancer on this podcast. We've had children born on this podcast. We've had family members die on this podcast, and this community has been right there to hold us up when we were feeling down and offer encouragement. And it's just, there's just nothing like it, man. For me, there's nothing like it.
Amen.
So thank you guys. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the group. It's on and popping. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Like Ed didn't say, YouTube.com/married to the games. On Patreon, if you want to throw $1 in the tip jar, we'd greatly appreciate it. Patreon.com/MTTG. I am setting up and getting my body ready for this 24 hours, just testing my stuff. Yesterday, I realized that this chair is not comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's not good. But
on the floor it is.
Yeah, but I can't get something more comfortable because I'll fall asleep. I know I will.
Good
point. And then, so you can come still join the Extra Life group. We have hit our goal already.
Yes,
we did.
Extra Life, thank you guys so much. I know some guys streamed this past weekend. I wasn't able to jump in. I was so sad about it. $7,500, man. We are over that. And hopefully I can take us a little bit further.
Gabe's like, so I don't have to do this now then, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
So we're all cool. Everybody's cool. And so if you want to still join up, extra-life.org/team/MTTG, me and Ed will be giving away game because Extra Life goes to the end of the year. Me and Ed will be giving away our games for every $300 we raised at the end of the year, and giving away the top earners from the Extra Life as well. Then we want to give everybody a shot. We want to give everybody a shot. It wasn't just about Extra Life Day, so we want to give everybody a shot. Those that are streaming a little later than the rest of us. Oh man, I'm still like a little bit on an emotional roller coaster, if I can be completely honest.
Yep.
And let's see, Chris.
Rate us on iTunes, and we'll release a discless version of the podcast next week.
Perfect.
That was good pull,
That
Chris.
was great. Well done.
That was good.
Well, let's get into some questions.
Let's get into it. We got Discord. We got Calm Fury. What side do you have to have on Thanksgiving? Mine is cornbread casserole.
Ooh. I really like mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
I like mac and cheese as a side. Mm-hmm.
I like it for dinner, for the side, for breakfast, or whatever.
Even though when I was broke, it was just the meal.
Right.
With a side of water.
Exactly.
Edward?
That's nothing I have to have, but I'm always happy to see sweet potatoes there.
Oh, yes. Yes. Christopher?
I will say either the mac and cheese as well, or if I'm going to my mom's house or on my mom's side of the family, it's broccoli cheese casserole. But that's usually only there.
Very
I don't
nice.
usually have that when we go other places. So
Nice.
Yep.
Tim?
I think mine's mashed taters. I love me some mashed potatoes.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's a staple.
Here's an addition, just a thought of it. Do you guys keep all of your sides and turkey and everything separate on the plate, or do you kind of mush it all together and mix things around?
Mush it all together.
Me too, man.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta keep it separated.
Don't let there be corn and mashed potatoes on the same plate. Those things are ending up together.
Yeah,
That is the best. Mixing that together.
Chris, you keeping them separated or you mixing them together?
I keep them separated, but then when I'm using whatever utensil, I'll mix them on the utensil. I don't mix them on the plate.
Yeah, okay. You don't.
Oh,
Yeah. That
Yeah,
makes
there you
sense.
go.
That makes sense.
That's good. That's
Little
good.
this, little that, little this, little
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Love that. That's perfect. Good question. Jared Orr, what's your opinion on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Do you think it's boring? Do you like to see your favorite fictional characters disproportionately inflated to the size of a whale?
Both, actually. It's it's been a staple of our family to watch the Macy's Day Parade since I was a kid. And so every Thanksgiving, I'm constantly looking, like, I'm like, yep, Macy's Day Parade. First thing in the morning, I turn it on. I think I watch Al Roker and them's coverage of the Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's a bucket list thing of mine to go to the Macy's Day Parade there in New York.
Oh, nice.
I really would like to go. And I think it's boring.
Right.
So, but I do love it. I love it. I mean, there's nothing exciting about it. Like, it's floats. It's a lot of the times the same floats. Santa's going to be at the end of it. There's going to be some lip syncing, musical performances.
You mean a lot of lip syncing musical
like
performances?
everyone except for the school bands.
Exactly.
Right? And but I love it. Yeah. Edward?
Yeah, I haven't been up to see it for a long time, but I like that it's there, and it's just.
I'm glad it's there for my amusement if I do deem so necessary.
It's a sunrise. I'm never up for it, but I'm glad that it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like Charlie Brown Christmas. I haven't watched it on TV in years, but I'm glad that they still show it.
Right.
It's just kind of like it's just a nice.
It's a staple of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that.
Specifically, it was just like, what do you look forward to, or what was it? Read it again.
It was saying, what was your feelings about it? Do you like it?
What's
do you
your
think
opinion
it's boring?
on it? Do you think it's boring?
I mean, I don't watch. I mean, the parade stuff might be on, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. I mean, the only thing I really pay any attention to TV wise on Thanksgiving is football. So
yeah, I'm with you.
There you go.
It's different for, I'm with you, Gabe, because I grew up watching it as well. And once we had Piper, it's totally different too, because there's so much excitement, especially when Santa comes at the end, and, we always hype it up, and it's awesome. But typically what we do now is because my in-laws are hosting, we'll go over there and we'll bring breakfast, and we'll have breakfast and watch the parade and help mom with whatever she needs to. And it's kind of in the background. Yes, it's long, and I always look for whether any of the music artists slip on their lip syncs. That's kind of my thing. I'm like, oh, let's see if they screw up a note or a word or something. I always look for that, because we know it's all pre-recorded or it's all dubbed, and it kind of has to be. Logistically, it would be a nightmare to try and get anything. That's right. For each artist. But I do enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's New York. It's Thanksgiving, and so I've always watched it. And but yeah, so it's a little bit of both. You love it, but it's boring at the same time. So, thank you, Jared. Great question. B-Dog. Hey, no question. My birthday falls on Thanksgiving this year. Can your boy get a shout out?
Hey,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Turkeys.
Yes.
Also, just want to give a shout out to the MTTG Overwatch crew. I really miss playing with you guys. 6 more months of school to go, and then I'll be back in it.
Hey,
so that's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. Get your school on.
Yep.
Hollywood Bones. Do you think the rumor of Microsoft making an Xbox One S without a disk drive is that they are gauging the adoption of the next iteration of console gamers going digital? What are your thoughts of the possibility in Microsoft developing a diskless console? We already talked a lot about it.
The answer is yes.
yes.
Yes. Emphatic yes.
Hollywood Bones.
But I gotta always had to give props to Hollywood Bones. All right. Facebook, Gabriel Anthony Marcano. Bam. You just woke up and realized you're in your favorite open world game. What game is it, and what is your role in the game?
Ooh. Spider-Man, and I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
That just was too much fun. Is that open world? That's open world, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I might have to go with the same answer. Jeez.
Who doesn't want to be Spider-Man?
I know.
Ed?
Read it again.
You just woke up and realized you're in your favorite open world game. What game is it, and what is your role in the game?
Wow.
Spider-Man. I'm just kidding.
So Spider-Man, right?
Man, my favorite open world game? Yeah, I'll just say Red Dead just to be different. And I am the guy that that works at the hotel, and he's like, 25 cents for a bath, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Jeez.
Now, I'm just throwing this out there, Ed. You could be in Red Dead Redemption and be Spider-Man still.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's not
I like
many
that.
buildings
Oh
to
my
swing
gosh,
across, but
you guys are so ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
Red Dead
Just-
Webdemption.
Yes. Well played.
Web Dead Redemption.
Web
There you
Dead
go.
Redemption. Oh, well played.
I just
sir.
love that.
Well
I
played.
just love to see Ed's knees after that having scraped on the ground so
I
many
know.
times because all the buildings are like 1 and 2 stories tall.
Exactly.
he runs into somebody and now he's wanted.
Yeah. Exactly. But he's still taking that selfie.
Right?
That's so funny. Mine, I've got 2. One would be Witcher, and I'm Geralt. Or I'm in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I'm Kenway.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
I like that.
I don't know if I love the pirate stuff. I think it's amazing.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a toss up, so I'll split them. It's a tie.
There you go.
Travis Pospisil, who cooks the turkey in your house, and what's the polite thing to do if it's dry besides drink the gravy boat? Happy Thanksgiving, all.
My mom makes the turkey. She has me. I don't know if I don't know why, but she always has me sit at the head of the table. I guess as like the
man,
man
you
of our
should.
family or something. I have
Yeah,
no idea.
sure.
So she makes me cut it. But
Nice.
she makes it, and it's always delicious. She's never made it dry, and I think if it was dry, she would know. I mean, so my mom's first generation American from Jamaican people, and if you know anything about Jamaican people, is that they tell the truth about things. And so if it's dry, she'd be like, "Ooh, this is kind of dry." She would probably beat us to it.
Mhm.
Sorry, the turkey's
Nice.
dry.
Right.
Mhm. Ed,
Yeah, I cook the turkey, and so far we've had pretty good luck. But I guess if it was dry, we just have more coffee.
There you go.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna fill up on this coffee.
Oh. Can you pass the coffee, please?
Yeah,
Just dunk it.
Christopher.
I've not cooked anything. And-
The question is, who cooks it?
Well, but I'm saying like I don't, because Ed was saying that he has. Usually it's if we go to my mom, it's my mom's the one who cooks the turkey typically. If we're on Stacy's side, usually we're going to her aunt's house and she cooks it, and it's always really good.
Yep,
Nice.
Yeah.
nice.
That's awesome.
I don't cook anything either. I'm right there with you, Chris.
Lauren and I kind of split it if we're hosting. Like we kind of split I prep the turkey a lot, and then she'll just make sure she's got all the right ingredients for everything. But we have a recipe that we use every year, and in fact, that's what we'll be doing tomorrow morning. We'll go over, watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. I'll get the turkey prepared and we put like different, like lemon and orange and rosemary and thyme. We stuff that in the body cavity of the turkey, and that kind of helps give it some flavor. So I do all that and clean out the turkey and all that fun stuff. And then mom takes it away from there. So it's perfect.
There you go.
Nice.
And I don't care if it's dry. That's why I mix everything on my plate, because then I can take some turkey,
Oh,
throw it
there
with
you
some
go.
mashed potatoes, throw
Can't
it with
even
some
tell.
stuff, and then you
Right?
can't even tell.
You blame
So
it on
could
something else.
I like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I mix it all in.
There you go.
Mike Peacott. A movie is being made about MTTG. Who's playing Tim, Ed, Chris, and Gabe? Even though we know Darius Rucker has secured the role for Gabe.
I don't know if he's a good actor, so I'm going with Idris Elba.
Ooh, yeah, that's all you.
Yes.
I want to see Will Smith play you, Gabe.
Oh, really?
Because he's got that sense of humor.
Yes,
Hey,
good
listen.
call, Ed.
I will take Will Smith for
Seriously,
sure.
Will Smith for the win.
I am
on
a
that.
ginormous Will Smith fan. Like,
Yeah, man.
Yes.
it's a little
Yes.
crazy.
Fanboy, maybe.
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome.
I mean, even though I'm a fanboy to the sense where I'm like, he's still done some bad things, but
Sure.
I'm not insane. Christopher, who's playing you, buddy?
Man, I have no idea. I was just starting to Google famous redheaded people.
They don't have to be redheaded as we've seen
That's
from
tr-
The Witcher.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very true.
I'll go with shoot.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it?
What was homeboy that played Frodo? Just because he's small like me. What's his name?
Sean Astin.
No, not
No,
him.
that
He
was
played
Samwise
Samwise.
Gamgee.
Oh.
Oh, Woods?
Dang it.
Something
Elijah
Woods?
Woods.
Elijah Wood?
Elijah Woods. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Tim? Dierks Bentley?
I mean, yeah, doesn't it have to be Dierks Bentley?
I don't know. Can he act?
I don't know. We'll go with it though.
Yeah,
'cause
whatever
that's
the
all I can
default
think
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever the default is. Exactly.
Edward?
That guy that's in the frame whenever we bought it, let's just pick that guy.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Yeah.
default is.
Yep.
Ed?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
100% yes. Yep.
Not Benicio
Absolutely.
del
Now he-
Toro, huh?
Now here's the question though: does he play the bearded Ed or the other Ed,
The
the regular Ed?
I think
Yeah.
regular Ed
He can't
probably.
Regular Ed?
grow-
Okay.
He can't grow a beard.
Exactly. He's like 4. That's so awesome.
That's funny.
I love that. That was a good question. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good.
Brian Niebel, you've just been, everyone's given us these hypothetical, you've just been made into an 8-bit game. What's it called and what's your game about?
God, I don't like 8-bit games.
I don't either. Mine is whatever the default is in Pong.
My gosh.
Jeez.
Chris, you have an answer?
8-bit games?
Mm-hmm.
McCracken Craft.
Mindcracking.
Mindcracking.
I really like that.
Oh, that's
All right,
good.
well, let's go with that. Why
Yeah.
I
not?
love that.
Let's go with
Mindcracking.
I
Well
like that.
played.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Edward.
That's good. All right, Ed, you're on a roll. What you got?
I'm gonna do, I don't know, like a latte dart, and you have to take a cup of coffee from one side of the screen to the other real fast.
Nice.
Ooh, kind of like root beer tapper,
Yeah, Tapper.
Oh yeah, like that.
except with coffee.
Brewer?
That's right.
I like that. Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Tim? Oh, you said whatever the default
Yeah,
is.
whatever the default is.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the dot in the screen.
Yeah.
Move the dot
Yeah.
left and right.
Chris, yeah. He's a rousing game of Snake.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with something along the lines of a like a Pitfall.
Oh,
Ooh,
A little
okay.
side scroller. You got to swing on the trees and avoid alligators because alligators.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It's called yeah, right, alligators.
That's perfect. Yeah, right, alligator.
Exactly.
Good.
It's called Black Folks Don't Camp. Why am I around all these alligators? Tyler Perry presents. That's the.
Yeah,
that's
there
the-
it is. Tyler.
well, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We
that's really
had a
good.
big camping discussion on the bus the other day,
Oh,
and
gosh.
there was a definitely line in the sand as to who had been camping and who had not been camping.
I'm sure.
And it definitely proved true on the stereotypes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Literally every white guy had been camping. All of them.
Yes, of
and
course.
all of the black people had not been camping.
Nor want to, I think, either.
One had just gone camping with one of the other white guys on the bus. He was like, well, at like 45.
Right.
Like, I went with Tim and it was fine. I was like, I guess.
That's great. That's good for you.
Yep.
Oh, that's incredible. Incredible. All right. At Flowing with Rain, what's your favorite video game logic that doesn't make sense? Like how Kratos is able to obliterate gods and titans, but in order to open this wooden door, he needs this small key from a fisherman.
That's an amazing example.
Isn't that an incredible example?
Yes.
Well played, sir. Oh my gosh, I love that.
That is so funny. Yeah, this
Favorite
doggone
video game-
door is locked. I wish I could kick it in, but I just can't. I don't have the strength.
Oh, but there's a titan over here. Let me just obliterate this guy.
That's
with
funny.
my axe.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
isn't that great? Oh,
Yes,
it's fantastic.
That's really funny.
All right, favorite video game logic that doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's a tough one.
If you smash your head against a brick, a coin will pop out.
That's very true.
Or maybe a mushroom will grow out of it.
If you get lucky.
Or a little star you've got to chase.
If you smash your head against a brick enough times, you'll start seeing stuff come out of it.
I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
What say you,
Mine-
Christopher? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say mine is leaping off some really tall building into a little bale of hay.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. I like
A
that.
pile of leaves.
Exactly.
I love leaves.
They'll catch you no matter how far up you
No
are.
matter how high up you are.
Shoot.
I mean, there's a lot, but that's the
Yeah.
beauty of video games. But it's just,
I like the change in gravity.
Mm.
There you go.
Like, oh, now I get to do this world over again, except with less gravity.
This will be fun.
Oh, look at me jump. Boy, boy, boy. Boy, I can keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Boy,
There
okay.
Chris, while he's doing that, go for it.
Yeah.
Just
Boy,
Are you finished?
Are you done?
Are you done?
Are you done?
Yeah, yeah.
oh, man, you gotta get out the way of that plane. It's trying to land here.
Boy,
Jeez.
Oh, that was great, Gabe. That was great.
Oh man, I don't know. Respawning. I mean, that's kind of
Hey.
weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, I like it, but it's like I just died. Now I'm here again.
Yeah, let me try again with full health.
Right where I was.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so great.
I like that too.
Yeah. Excellent question. Thank you so much. That was a good one. Mr. Pastor Ham at MTTG Brazil team.
Ooh, he gets a Mister
Seven-
and a pastor.
Now, yeah, he's kind of throwing it all in there.
Mm-hmm.
77 years ago in 1941, Tweety Bird debuted. So, in the spirit of classic cartoons, what are or were your favorite and least favorite Looney Tune characters?
Oh, I can't remember which ones are Looney Tunes.
I'll tell you.
I mean, Bugs was Looney, right?
Yep.
I loved Bugs. Didn't like? I don't know. I want to say, Oh, let me Google it. Somebody else go.
So it's
Ed?
like and dislike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your favorite and your least favorite Looney Tune.
My favorite was Tasmanian Devil,
Oh, he was
Nice.
great.
and I didn't really care for Foghorn Leghorn.
Yep.
I'll say,
right.
I'll say,
I'll say it,
well,
yep.
just say it already. All right, that's what you say. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
Mine's a toss up between Bugs and Daffy. And my least favorite is like you, Chris. I didn't love Foghorn Leghorn either.
what? You guys are crazy.
I'll say you're
crazy.
I love that. I love that.
I thought it was funny.
Edward?
I always liked Wile E. Coyote. And
Genius.
I could not stand Pepe Le Pew cartoons.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Or, you know what? I hated Tweety Bird as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't like looking at them now. I didn't like Marvin the Martian.
Oh,
What?
He was
I liked
great.
Marvin the Martian.
Well,
How dare you?
I
No,
know.
he's amazing.
That's how opinions work. It's crazy.
Yep, right.
Well, you need
MTTG, oops to you.
That's why I said that. Yeah, I don't remember ever really watching him ever. And I just remember being like, yeah. And Pepe Le Pew was, he wouldn't make it in these days. Let's just say that.
No.
Yeah, there'd be hashtags flying all around the place.
That's right.
I think he wrote Baby It's Cold Outside.
That's right.
I really can't stay. I said you staying.
Sit down.
Exactly. Drink this drink. That's in the words. What's in this drink?
What's in this drink? Yep.
A Jello pudding pop is in there.
That's right. Hey, all right.
All right.
And it went dark.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Let's go. That's right. All right, let's end on this one. Let's land this plane. At Jer45, best video game action noise. Go.
Oh, you're gonna say the thunk.
Of course. Absolutely, I'm going to say that.
Jeez.
Oh, I really like the way that they've on some people, especially the Call of Duties and or things like that. Even Titanfall, when you land, like if you jump from a tall building or you landed from a jetpack, I always love that, like, and like you're going back to running. I've always liked those sounds. Chris?
The only the thing that came right to mind, I don't know if it's the best ever, but off the top of my head, I really loved the sound that Icebreaker made. It was a gun in Destiny.
Yeah.
I liked that sound that it had.
Nice.
Is that the one that reloaded itself?
Yeah, the sniper rifle that would
Yeah.
regenerate ammo.
Mm-hmm.
I
Edward?
really like the little tinkling sound the anima shards make in Assassin's Creed. You
Really?
Yeah, that's good. I
Tinkling
like that
with it.
too.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
My
the
head
only-
went somewhere different.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Just a,
I'm gonna go visit these
Who else
bushes.
has to pee now?
Yeah.
just a healthy, strong stream. Just nothing like it.
Oh my gosh.
The beautiful this water fountain.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh,
That's like the only
that
thing
was
about
good.
the Animus anybody likes.
Exactly.
The tinkling, yes.
Tinkling. You're in
The
there a long
tinkling.
time, the tinklings.
Yeah, gotta love a tinkle.
That's it. That is, on that note, that is it for all the questions. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.
Nice.
I'm going to go to the bathroom now.
Exactly right. The question of the week for you guys is: you're traveling for the holidays.
Mm.
You don't have your console with you.
Mm-hmm.
What board games or other games are you reaching for to play with your friends and family?
Oh, snap.
Clash Royale it is.
No, to play with
Oh,
your friends.
I know.
Edward, you don't have your consoles.
We played a lot of code names this week.
Ooh.
So code names are Secret Hitler.
Ah, yes. Secret Hitler was a good one. Chris?
Secret Hitler is one that I was thinking about. But if it's with family, I'm probably going to pick something a little more easier to grasp, like Uno. I really like Uno.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Uno is great. That one has stood the test of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It really has.
Tim?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I just love board games. So you just shout it out and I'll play it. I'm in.
Whatever the default is.
Whatever the default is. Exactly.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. No, I just love it. Like I don't.
I just
don't
love the
care.
default.
Monopoly, Life, Uno,
What?
You'll play all of
Monopoly,
them?
whatever. All of them. I'll play them all.
I like that. I can get down.
Mm.
It's funny. I actually really enjoy Monopoly as well. I know a lot of people think it's boring.
Jeez.
But I don't think it's gonna be what I would grab. I really liked Cranium.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if people
Cranium's
still
great.
play that,
Yeah.
but I loved Cranium.
That game is awesome.
That's a good one.
Yes, and just side note, I've actually never been beaten in
Ooh,
Cranium.
what?
Anytime
Are
I
you
play,
serious?
I've
Cranium?
always won. Isn't that weird?
Oh, it's on.
I know.
Yeah, episode 350. Let's do
I
it.
know. Me and Ed are gonna be teammates, so he can't beat me.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to go against you. I meant it's on as in we will take over the world.
We'll take over the world. There you go.
Exactly. So I love that. Did everybody answer? Everybody's got it in, right?
Yeah.
So you're
Yep.
traveling for the holidays. You don't have your console. What board games or other games are you reaching for to play with your friends and family? Let us know. We will talk about it next week. The holidays are upon us, man. We are
Yes, sir.
through Halloween. By the time this comes out, some people will get it right before Thanksgiving. Everybody else will get it after Thanksgiving, and then it's whatever you do in December.
Yeah.
There's a laundry list of things. We will talk to you guys next week. 323 in the books. Oh, yes. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing. Bass!